Today, we're uncovering 5 rare and fascinating Washington Quarters, coins with hidden stories, unexpected errors, and values that surprise even seasoned collectors. Stay tuned as we explore the secrets behind each of these modern treasures. Welcome back to OldCoin Secrets. Coin number 1, 1932 S. Washington Quarter, the silent king of American quarters. Imagine holding a coin that didn't just survive history, but created history. A coin that marked the beginning of a new era. A coin struck at a time when America was struggling through the Great Depression, yet today stands as one of the most valuable and legendary Washington Quarters ever made. Today we dive deep into the story of the 1932 S. Washington Quarter, a tiny silver artifact that has become a true treasure in the world of numismatics. The story behind the 1932 quarter. The year was 1932. America was celebrating the 200th birthday of George Washington. The U.S. Mint wanted to honor the nation's first president with a special coin. A coin that would not just commemorate history but become part of daily life. Originally, the Washington coin was meant to be a one-year commemorative $50. But plans changed. Instead, the Mint transformed it into a brand new $quarter design, replacing the standing Liberty quarter. This decision changed U.S. coinage forever. But here's where it gets interesting. Even though 1932 marked the beginning of the Washington Quarter series, the San Francisco Mint made very few coins that year. Only 48,000 pieces were struck. For a quarter in regular circulation, this number is shockingly low. And that is exactly why the 1932 S is so valuable today. Why the 1932 S quarter is so special. 1. Extremely low mintage. Among all regular issue Washington quarters, 1932 S has the second lowest mintage, making it one of the rarest dates in the entire series. Finding one in high grade is almost like discovering buried treasure. 2. Silver content. This quarter is made of 90% silver, giving it intrinsic bullion value, but collectors don't chase it for silver. They chase it for rarity. 3. Historical significance. It's the first year of the Washington Quarter series. Collectors love first-year coins because they represent the start of a legacy. 4. Scarce in high grade. Most 1932 S quarters circulated heavily during the Great Depression. People spent every coin they had. Finding a sharp, well-preserved example today is exceptionally rare, especially in AU, MS-60, MS-63, and MS-65 grades. Identification and key details. Here's what to look for. Mint mark. Look for the S mint mark, located on the reverse side, below the eagle and above $quarter. Sharp detail on Washington. A valuable coin should have a full hair detail, a strong rims, the clear eagle feathers, no major scratches, a minimal wear, surface quality. High-quality examples have bright original silver luster, even toning, no cleaning marks, strong strike. What makes this coin valuable? This coin's value depends on 3 main factors. 1. Grade, condition. A lightly circulated 1932 S can already be worth hundreds. But uncirculated coins, they can sell for thousands. 2. Eye appeal. Coins with natural toning, clean surfaces, and sharp details bring premium value. 3. Authenticity. Unfortunately, this coin is often counterfeited. Collectors always check mint mark shape, metal weight, strike style, edge reading. Professional grading is recommended for high-value pieces. Market value of the 1932 S Washington Quarter. Approximate prices. Great value. Good G4, 200, 250. Fine F12, 300, 350. Very fine VF20, 350, 500. AU, about uncirculated, 700, 1200. MSXE, 500 plow. MS63, 2500. MS Schniffi, $6,000, 12,000 plows. Exceptional eye appeal, $15,000, 30,000 plow. Yes. This small silver coin can reach 5-figure prices. Historical context. In 1932, the United States was facing massive unemployment, the collapse of businesses, a major banking crisis, a lack of circulating coins. People saved every quarter they had because money was scarce. That's why so few 1932 S quarters survived in top condition. Most were used until they were worn down to flat discs. A well-preserved one today is like finding a time capsule from the Great Depression. Collector tips for 1932 S quarters. Buy from reputable sellers. Always check the mint mark carefully. Avoid coins with polishing marks, Cleaning destroys value. They look for natural toning. For expensive pieces, get grading PCGS, NGC, and store in airtight holders to preserve silver luster. Imagine opening an old drawer, going through your grandfather's coin box, and noticing a worn silver quarter with a tiny S on the back. And the date 1932. At first it looks ordinary, but then you look closer. This isn't just any quarter. This is the rare 1932 S, a first-year treasure from one of the toughest chapters in American history. A coin many people never realized they even had. A coin that could be worth thousands today. That moment, when history meets discovery, is what makes coin collecting magical. Final message for viewers. The 1932 S Washington Quarter isn't just a coin. It's a story, a survivor, a symbol of American strength during hard times. It teaches us that a small coin can hold big history. Low mintage coins become legends. Silver treasures hide in ordinary places. And sometimes, the rarest things are right in front of us. If you ever find a 1932 S quarter, treat it like a treasure, because that's exactly what it is. Coin number 2, 1942 D Washington Quarter, DDR error. 1942 D Washington Quarter, the double die mystery hidden in World War history. Imagine holding a coin that didn't just survive history, but carries an error so rare, so unexpected, that it turns an ordinary Washington quarter into a treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Today, we dive into one of the most fascinating coins of the early 1940s, the 1942 D Washington Quarter with DDR, meaning double die obverse and double die reverse. A mistake so subtle, yet so valuable, that collectors around the world hunt for it like a hidden gem. The story behind the 1942 D Quarter. The year was 1942. America was in the middle of World War II. Every factory, every worker, every machine was focused on supporting the war effort. The Denver Mint was operating under intense pressure. Millions of coins needed to be produced quickly for an economy, shifting toward wartime production. In this rush, something rare happened. A working die for the Washington Quarter was struck with a slight misalignment during hubbing. This created faint but significant doubling on both sides of the coin. Instead of catching the error, the mint used those dies in full production. Thousands of these double die quarters entered circulation, unnoticed. Today, they are one of the most thrilling discoveries for collectors. What makes the 1942 DDR quarter so special? En double die obverse, DDO. On the obverse, you can find doubling. On the motto, "In God We Trust." On liberty, on Washington's eye and profile outline, but on the inner edge of the date, 1942. These small distortions prove that the die was misaligned during creation. Turn double die reverse, DDR. The reverse shows doubling on the eagle's wings. On the feathers are the lettering United States of America, and especially quarter dollar. Reverse doubling is less common in the Washington series, making this coin even more valuable. 3. Minted during wartime. Coins from the 1940s carry emotional and historical weight. This one, with a rare error, becomes even more meaningful. 4. Made of 90% silver. Like all pre-1965 quarters, it carries intrinsic silver value. But the error makes it worth far more than metal. 5. Extremely rare in high grade. Most of these coins were heavily circulated during the war years. Finding one in mint state condition is extremely difficult. Identification. How to spot the doubling. Collectors look for these signs. Obverse doubling. A slight shadow effect on the letters. Doubling around Washington's nose and forehead. Blitz serifs on "In God We Trust." Reverse doubling. Double outline on feathers. Slightly thick lettering. Doubling on dollar and United. Mint mark. The D mint mark is located on the reverse under the eagle. Weight and metal. 90% silver. Weight 625 grams. Market value of the 1942 DDR quarter. Prices can get exciting, especially for well-preserved examples. Great. Value. Good. G. 60, 90. Fine. F. 120, 180. Very fine. VF. 200, 300. Extremely fine. XF. 350, 500. AU. About uncirculated. $600, 1,000. MSXE. 200 plus. MS63. 1-800, 2,500. MS Schniffy 5,000, 8,000 pearl. Coins with stronger doubling or great eye appeal can go even higher. Historical context. 1942 was a year of urgency. Factories were converting to build tanks, planes, and battleships. Copper, nickel, and steel were reserved for the war. Silver coins like this one were essential in commerce, because the nation was focused on war, not numismatics. Few people checked coins for errors. That's why these double-die quarters circulated unnoticed. No one knew they were handling a rare mistake. A tiny accident in the middle of one of history's greatest conflicts. This is what gives the coin its emotional power. It's a mistake that survived war, struggle, and time. Why collectors love this coin? It's a dramatic and visible double-die error, but extremely scarce and high grade. A silver composition. Their wartime production. One of the most popular varieties in the Washington series. A coin with a powerful backstory. Collectors consider it a must-have for any Washington Quarter variety set. Collector tips for 1942 DDR quarters. Use a 10x magnifier to examine lettering and look for natural silver luster, no cleaning marks. A certified example, PCGS NGC, is ideal for high values. Store it in airtight silver safe holders. I'd be aware of machine doubling, only true hub doubling counts. Imagine you're going through an old coin jar, maybe from your parents, maybe from a drawer that's been untouched for years. You pick up a worn silver quarter dated 1942. It feels heavy, different, historic. As you tilt it under the light, you notice strange doubling around the letters. Then you turn it over, and the eagle's wings have that same shadow effect. Your heart stops for a moment. Could this be the legendary 1942 DDR Washington Quarter? A coin born from a hidden mint mistake in the middle of World War II. A coin that survived 8 decades. A coin that today could be worth hundreds or even thousands. This is why collectors love old quarters. You never know which one is hiding a story or a fortune. Final message for viewers. The 1942 Washington Quarter, DDR, teaches us something powerful. Rare errors can turn common coins into priceless pieces. Wartime coins carry history in their metal. Doubling varieties are among the most collectible in U.S. coinage. Hidden treasures often go unnoticed for years, and every old coin has a story worth exploring. If you ever find a 1942 quarter with doubling on both sides, you're not just holding silver, you're holding a piece of American wartime history. Coin number 3, 1965, Silver Quarter Era. The 1965 quarter was produced under extraordinary circumstances. The Coinage Act of 1965 changed U.S. coinage forever, replacing 90% silver quarters with copper-nickel-clad coins. These were intended for circulation, while silver versions were no longer made for everyday use. However, a few coins were accidentally struck on old silver planchets, creating rare error pieces that now captivate collectors worldwide. These coins are historically significant, visually striking, and depending on condition, can command impressive prices. Background and mint history. The United States Mint faced significant challenges in the mid-1960s. Rising silver prices forced the mint to switch to clad coinage. Old silver planchets were sometimes still in the machinery, creating unexpected errors. Mistakes like silver struck. 1965 quarters were rare and often went unnoticed for years. The Denver Mint and Philadelphia Mint both contributed to the 1965 coin production. Collectors specifically hunt for Denver, D, and Philadelphia, no mint mark. Silver errors, as they are exceedingly uncommon. Design and features. Obverse front features the iconic George Washington portrait by John Flanagan. Inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust. Date clearly reads 1965, even on error pieces. Reverse back displays the American bald eagle perched on arrows with olive branches. Typical features of a Washington quarter remain, but the unusual silver appearance makes this coin stand out immediately. Key difference: the 1965 silver quarter era retains silver coloration, unlike the standard clad copper-nickel coin, giving it a distinctive look and feel. Why the 1965 silver quarter era is special. Historical significance. This coin is part of the transition from silver to clad coinage. A surviving silver struck 1965 quarter represents a piece of U.S. minting history that was never intended for circulation. Rarity and collector demand. Error coins like these are extremely rare. Most coins were discovered decades after minting. Collectors and investors compete for the few surviving high-grade examples. Visual appeal. Shiny silver appearance on a coin expected to be copper nickel. Grabs attention instantly. Coins with original luster and minimal wear command higher prices. Error varieties. Silver planchet errors. Off-center strikes. Doubled dies or die cracks in some specimens. Each variation increases the coin's collectible value dramatically. Condition and grading value. The condition of the 1965 silver quarter error heavily influences its value. Circulated, 50, 150. Silver content, plus rarity. AU about uncirculated, $200, 350. MS60, MS63, $400, 600. MS64, MS65, $700, 1,200. MS66, MS67, 2,000 plus. Extreme rarities with off-center strikes or other errors can fetch 5,000 plus. High-grade examples with original luster and sharp strike details are the most sought after. Market and investment potential. Collectors purchase these coins for several reasons. Silver value. Each coin has intrinsic metal value, which rises with silver prices. Rarity. Mistakes like this are historically limited. Collector demand. Top collectors aim to complete Washington Quarter collections, especially with rare errors. Long-term appreciation. Silver error coins consistently increase in value over time. How to identify a 1965 silver quarter error. When examining a coin, look for composition, silver appearance, heavier than standard clad quarters. Mint mark, check for Philadelphia, no mint mark, or Denver, D. Visual differences. Shiny whitish color compared to copper nickel. Errors and variations. Use a magnifier to find double dies, off-center strikes, or minor die cracks. Collector tips. Store coins in airtight holders to preserve luster. Avoid cleaning the coin. Natural toning increases value. Get high-grade coins professionally graded. Compare coins carefully to ensure silver planchet authenticity. Watch for auction records. Some rare 1965 silver quarters have sold for tens of thousands of dollars in pristine condition. Imagine finding a coin in your change or an inherited collection that looks perfectly normal, except it gleams with silver instead of copper nickel. You take a closer look and notice it's dated 1965, a year when silver quarters weren't supposed to exist. Your heart races. Could this be a rare silver planchet error? With careful inspection, you confirm the silver color and the mint mark. You now hold a piece of U.S. minting history, one of the most exciting and valuable error coins from the modern era. Even a coin that started as an ordinary 25-cent piece can turn into a collectible treasure worth thousands. Final message for viewers. The 1965 silver quarter error teaches us history can be hidden in everyday coins. Errors make ordinary coins extraordinarily valuable. High-grade condition, rare errors, and silver content drive the most interest. Always examine your coins carefully. Today's change could hide tomorrow's treasure. Collectors and enthusiasts alike agree. The 1965 silver quarter era is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history that continues to fascinate and inspire collectors worldwide. Coin number 4, 1964 D Washington Quarter. The 1964 D Washington Quarter was minted at the Denver Mint during one of the most dramatic moments in American coinage history. This was the year when the U.S. Mint officially stopped producing quarters made of 90% silver and shifted to copper nickel-clad coins from 1965 onward. That means the 1964 D is not just another quarter. It is the last silver Washington quarter ever made in circulation. Because of its precious metal content, strong historical background, and high collector demand, this coin continues to increase in value year by year. Background and mint history. In 1964, the U.S. experienced a massive coin shortage. People were hoarding silver coins because the price of silver was rising quickly. To try to control the situation, the U.S. Mint produced millions of quarters, including the 1964 D. But even with high mintage, collectors still value this coin because it was the final 90% silver quarter. It's connected to a major U.S. coinage reform. Many high-quality coins were melted for silver. The Denver Mint, marked with the D mint mark, played a major role in producing these final silver pieces. Design and features. Obverse front. You'll find the famous portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Key features include the bold inscription, Liberty, the motto, In God We Trust. The year 1964, a strong, well-defined portrait in high-grade coins. Reverse back. The reverse showcases a powerful American bald eagle standing on arrows, with olive branches beneath, symbolizing strength and peace. This iconic design was used from 1932 to 1998, making the 1964 D a beautiful representation of classic American coinage. Why the 1964 D quarter is special. Here are the reasons collectors chase this coin. 1. Last 90% silver quarter. After 1964, all regular quarters became clad. This alone makes the 1964 D historically important. 2. High silver content. Composition: 90% silver, 10% copper. Each coin contains about 0.1808 troy ounces of pure silver, giving it strong intrinsic value. 3. Melting reduced surviving numbers. Millions of these quarters have been melted for silver over the decades, making high-grade survivors more valuable. 4. Affordable but increasing in value. Even common coins are gaining value as silver rises and collectors seek complete Washington Quarter sets. Condition and grading value. Just like all collectible coins, condition matters a lot. A circulated coin will always have lower value, while uncirculated or mint-state grades can bring stunning prices. Here's a quick breakdown. Circulated condition: slight wear, still valuable due to silver. EU almost uncirculated. Light wear, strong details. MS60, MS63, entry-level uncirculated. MS64, MS65, very sharp and attractive. MS66 and MS67, high premium, extremely collectible. Even though the mintage was high, coins in MS66 and MS67 are surprisingly rare. Market value, approx. Values shift depending on silver price and collector demand. Here are general values. Circulated, 10-15, UNC MS60 plus, 25-40 MS65, 75, 120 die, MS66, 200-350 plus, MS67 can exceed $1,500 at auction. Rare toning, sharp strikes, and exceptional luster can push the price even higher. Investment potential. Collectors often buy this coin for silver value, historical significance, long-term appreciation. Closing the Washington Quarter collection. Since silver continues to rise and interest in U.S. vintage coins keeps increasing, the 1964 D remains a safe and attractive investment piece. Conclusion. The 1964 D Washington Quarter is far more than a regular old coin. It marks the end of an era, the last time the U.S. Mint struck quarters with real silver for everyday use. Whether you're a beginner collector, an investor, or someone who loves historical coins, this quarter deserves a place in your collection. It combines silver value, history, beauty, strong collector demand. And that's exactly why this coin continues to shine, even decades after leaving the Denver Mint. Coin number 5, 1951 D Washington Quarter. 1951 D Washington Quarter, a silver survivor with hidden value. Imagine holding a coin that was spent in grocery stores, gas stations, diners, and movie theaters during the 1950s. A coin that passed through the hands of families living in a post-World War II America, a time of booming industry, classic cars, and brand new beginnings. On the surface, the 1951 D Washington Quarter looks like just another silver coin from the mid-20th century. But hidden within that small piece of metal is a story of American growth, mint challenges, and the struggle to keep silver coinage alive in a rapidly changing economy. And for collectors today, this quarter can be surprisingly valuable, especially in high-grade or with rare mint errors. Let's uncover the full story. The story behind the 1951 D Quarter. After World War II, the United States entered a new era. Factories returned to peacetime production. Families were settling into suburban life, and the economy was booming. But the demand for coins skyrocketed. More people, more spending, more currency movement. The Denver Mint stepped up, producing millions of Washington Quarters in 1951. But here's where it gets interesting. Even with a large mintage, most of these coins were heavily used. They jingled in pockets, sat in cash registers, and circulated for decades, until the silver era ended in 1964. That means most 1951 D quarters today are worn. High-grade examples are rare, and errors and varieties can be worth big money. The coin may look common, but its story and its value is far from ordinary. Why the 1951 D Quarter is special. 1. Made of 90% silver. Every Washington Quarter minted before 1965 contains real silver. That alone makes it desirable. 2. Denver mint strike quality. The D mint mark often produce strong, detailed strikes, but not always. Weakly struck examples exist, which collectors find interesting. 3. Low survival rate in high grade. Even though millions were made, very few survive with a full mint luster. Sharp details. No scratches or wear. Finding one in mint state is a challenge. 4. Valuable error varieties. The 1951 D quarter is known to have off-center strikes, D over D repunched mint marks, RPMs, D cracks, E weak strikes, struck through errors. These errors can multiply the value of the coin dramatically. 5. A snapshot of 1950s America. The coin embodies a time of optimism, the rise of American industry, the golden age of automobiles, the birth of modern pop culture. This emotional connection makes the 1951 D quarter more than just currency. It's a piece of living history. How to identify a valuable 1951 D quarter. 1. Check the mint mark. Look for the D on the reverse beneath the eagle. 2. Examine condition carefully. Collectors want strong luster, sharp eagle feathers, clear hair details on Washington, clean fields with minimal marks. Even slight improvements in condition can raise the value significantly. 3. Look for RPM errors. Some coins show D over horizontal D, or shifted mint mark impressions. These are highly collectible. 4. Inspect for off-center strikes. Even 5–10% off-center coins can fetch strong prices. 5. Silver toning. Natural blue, gold, or rainbow toning can make the coin even more appealing and more valuable. Market value of the 1951 D Washington Quarter. Here's the approximate value breakdown. Great value. Good G. 7.10 silver value. Fine F. $12. 18. Very fine VF. $18. 25. Extremely fine XF. 25. 35. O. 45. $75. MSXE. $90. $130. MS63. $150. $250. MS Schniffy. $350. $600. MS66. $800. 1–500 plying. RPM. Error varieties. $100. 2,000 plus. Uncirculated examples with stunning eye appeal can break auction records. Historical context. 1951 was a year full of transformation. Cars like the Chevy Bel Air appeared on the streets. Disney's classic animations were getting popular. American families were growing faster than ever. The jobs were booming. The Cold War tensions began to rise. Coins from this era reflect strength, optimism, and resilience. The Washington Quarter, with its bold eagle and heroic profile, symbolized a nation moving forward. The 1951 D is a tangible reminder of that time. Why collectors love this coin? Collectors admire the 1951 D quarter because A. It's an affordable silver coin for beginners, but rare in high grade, making it exciting for advanced collectors. Error varieties add huge value. It's part of the beloved Washington series. The Denver mint mark gives it extra charm. It carries the spirit of the early 1950s. Whether you love history, silver, or rare mint varieties, this coin has something for everyone. Collector tips for 1951 D quarters. Handle with cotton gloves to avoid fingerprints. And avoid cleaning, it destroys value. Use airtight holders for long-term storage. Look for RPMs under magnification. Consider grading if you suspect MS65 or higher. Always check for natural toning, it can add a premium. Imagine sorting through a box of old coins from your grandparents' home. Most are modern, nothing special. But then you pick up a silver quarter. It feels heavier, colder, different. You flip it over, and there it is. The bold eagle, the shine of 90% silver, the D mint mark, the date, 1951. You tilt it under the light and suddenly, the details gleam. Maybe it's uncirculated. Maybe it's an RPM variety. Maybe its value is far more than you ever expected. In that moment, you're not just holding a coin. You're holding a piece of 1950s America, and possibly a hidden treasure. This is what makes collecting magical. Final message for viewers. The 1951 D Washington Quarter teaches us even common silver coins can hide rare varieties. Mint state examples from the 1950s are surprisingly scarce. Error coins tell powerful stories of mint craftsmanship. Silver coins will always have historical and emotional value. Never overlook a Washington Quarter, especially one from the early 1950s, because sometimes ordinary coins carry extraordinary stories. Thanks for watching.